Welcome to Double KO Radio Reacts. We have just watched the first episode of Eleague the Challenger Street Fighter 5 Edition. The episode was called The Arrival. David, can you please give us the info?
Yeah, absolutely. The Challenger is a 5-part series, a reality show. And it has 7 participants just competing for a prize pool. And the prize pool is $25K. And these participants are well-known players, so it's going to be interesting. They're going to follow them throughout the 5 series about what they're doing, they're playing, they're going to have little events. So, type of a reality show, but more with Street Fighter.
So the contestants that are in the show, they're what I would say mid-tier amongst pros, right? Because you've got gods and you've got mortal men. These guys are right in the middle. They're like, like almost demigods. You can see them in, maybe it'll be surprising to see them in a top 8, but it's not far-fetched. Like in a major tournament or in like locals, they might win. Yeah. So it's really cool because a lot of them are pretty even, and anybody could really take a match from the other players. Yeah. And I think I think they chose a pretty good selection of players. Really
diversity. It doesn't feel like it's just gonna be that player's gonna run it. It's
not like they chose these 6 people and infiltration. It's not,
And he'd be like, "Yeah, guys, it's easy." Yeah. Absolutely. They have the people they have over there. They have Commander Jesse, Guilty, JB, Bias.
Yeah, we're biased, by the way. We're from New York. He was from New York. Yeah. So we're probably going to be rooting for JB.
100%. They have Sherry Jennings, Dayasha, Rob TV, and Low Tier God.
So out of all these names, I honestly have never heard of Dayasha. I at least don't remember hearing of him because I looked through a lot of data and all that stuff, and we watch streams and stuff. Maybe the face doesn't look familiar and the name doesn't.
The name is not something that catches up.
Yeah, and also with Rob TV, that's the other one. Everyone else I'm pretty familiar with. Now the big news for out of all these names like that was announced was Low Tier God. He was actually the last player announced. And the community went in an uproar because Low Tier God so toxic, this blah blah blah. Yeah. But honestly, if you're gonna put somebody in a reality show, you gotta add the spice. You gotta spice it up.
Personality, absolutely. Yeah. You're not gonna have somebody that is just gonna be so stoic or something, just too professional.
But honestly, other than, all right, how do I say this? Honestly, other than him having those moments where he rages out, where he says really bad things to like his own audience or the people that support him and all that, and him as a character, like as a person, doesn't strike me as someone that's really entertaining because I've tried I've tried watching like to see what the hubbub was about. Like let's see how angry this guy gets, and I've watched like compilations, not even by him. There's like YouTubes dedicated to him raging that aren't by him. You know what I mean? Like absolutely. All that stuff that haters are like all this content they're producing of him basically got him into this show. Yeah. So
which is very interesting that you say that because if you hate it, like watch it, right? But people can't stop watching it. Yeah. And I think that's perfect for TV, right? TV is a place that attracts so many different audience, and you need something like that. I think that you need something like that. Disregarding if it's too bad or too good, you need something because if it's bad, they're gonna talk. If it's good, they're gonna talk. And look, right now we're talking about it.
Yeah, and and it's funny too because if let's say you get like 7 of the nicest people in the community there, it's cool, it's competition, but like what happened in the show today, right? JP seems like a nice kid, and the way he picked the person, there's spoilers for what happened in the show. The way he picked the person off of winning the first challenge was very, just nice. Yeah. I'm not gonna say how he did, but it's just nice. We'll get to that in a little bit. But it's just like very not what people would want to spice up like the episodes or make people talk about it on social media, be like, hey, did you see what this guy said to this guy, or this
Very
guy said to the other?
backstabbing, very bad.
Yeah.
And people are used to that thing in reality show, right? Oh, did you saw the latest, I don't know, hip hop or whichever reality show you guys watch? They do that a lot. And that'd be, oh, do you hear, like you mentioned, people you don't even know about be talking about that.
Hip Hop Basketball Wives Bad Girls show. That one.
All of them. Part 3.
Right? That's the name of it all?
Ink Masters.
All of it?
And all that.
Ink. Yeah, that's the Ink Basketball Wives. Tatted up basketball NBA
fighters,
NFL, UFC wives. Yeah, anyway, I don't like those shows. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That's what the joke is.
Master Chef.
One of the things, Master Chef, there's a cooking competition too in it. Anyway, since they are wives, right?
Yeah, of course.
So one thing I was really worried about going into it, because everybody was like, oh, who's like, these people are in it, they're not even the best of the best.
Absolutely.
All this other stuff, but what was the format? Like, I didn't know what the format was. Mm-hmm. And it turns out this is pretty standard reality competition format, like formatted in a way where it's just basically there's a test to see who wins. Whoever wins has immunity. Yeah. And something happens with the losers, you know, that potentially somebody, the outcome basically goes, all right, one of you guys at the bottom
gotta go.
Has to go or fight to see who goes. And that's basically how it is in the first episode. I don't know what they're going to change up, but run us down, David, through what we saw.
So everybody got their shirts. You see them at the beginning getting intros of all the characters, all the participants, and they're all getting to know each other. Some of them are familiar with each other, some are not. And, you know, we see the host. We see Tasty Steve and Sajam, you know, she was for me. I got excited when I saw them, you know, and I think they're pretty cool people.
I think they fit the role of hosting so perfect, and it has to be through the years of experience they have commentating. And they're just so comfortable laying out information, laying out whatever advertising they have to do, or just they're just so fluid, and because they're bros or whatever, they're just. It
feels like they should have like a podcast.
Maybe they should have their own podcast, but they got greater things right now, right? They're on a TV show, so.
But they felt great, right? They didn't feel awkward. They feel at home. You know, they definitely, like you mentioned. So they give them each of them. They give them their shirts, and it's pretty exciting, right? Because it gives them that sense of like, okay, this is real. This is happening. And right away they get them with a challenge, right? Which is, hey, let's go downstairs. We're gonna tell you a challenge. Once again, very reality show type of base.
This was honestly the weirdest part, because it's like, as a person coming in there going, all right, I'm going to compete for this against other competitors, and goes into something that's a legit another competition. The first challenge is just so bonkers.
Throw them out of great. It's like I bring my A game, I got my character perfectly, and it has nothing to do with that. The first challenge was to do a speed run on arcade or Street Fighter 5, and to see who can finish it first, right? And they will have to hit this red button once they pick their character. Some of them are not even their mains because it's from the first Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's like Street Fighter 1, so you pick like off of like 5 characters.
That's correct. And... so maybe most of them, their main character's not even there, right? So they have to do best. And multiple of them goes with, I think Low Tier God started.
I don't remember. I think it was Dayasha that started. But
sorry. Dayasha started, and he did a record, and then Sherry got DQ because she got eliminated.
Yeah, that's when you knew. That's like if you had that question in the back of your head because they don't say it. That's when you knew what happens. When they're like, oh, they lost to a character. I guess they add more time. Nope, you're done. You just lose.
Your time doesn't even count, even if it was almost a minute before the.
Did we explain the arcade? Did we explain that in the arcade they have to face a mirror and play essentially backwards?
No. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, they were like, hey, arcade mode, but you have to play looking at a mirror. And they were like, what the hell? Looking at a mirror, so everything is reversed. And they're not even facing the monitor, right? They just try to go with instincts and what they see on the mirror. Which makes it more challenging, get it?
Yeah, they have to because these people play the game so often that it's second nature to them.
Obviously, and they play arcade mode every time. They always play in arcade.
Yes, they should know how to beat the CPU, right?
Everybody requested it, so they should.
I'm sure they went ham on survival mode when that's the only thing that was available.
Absolutely, and everybody was doing their times, and everybody was kind of looking forward to see how best they were gonna do. and then they see JB just pick random select. You know,
Yeah.
everybody picking. Oh, let's pick Abigail. Let's pick whatever, and he just picked random select, and he does the best time. And everybody's like, "What the hell is this
bar,
guy?"
which is still good damage. Like the thing with Abigail is, you're gonna pick the guy that does the most damage because he can kill people fast, and that'll get you a better time, right? And you have your chances are good for winning.
And he managed to get the best time, which is really, really awesome. And his strategy, he said that he just picked random select to be the quickest to pick a character, and it makes sense if you think about it, right? Yeah. Which is genius or crazy, whichever it is. But whoever he wins and he gets immunity. If you get immunity, it means you can't get eliminated, but you can also choose who's gonna go on an elimination match.
Like one of the two people that go for the elimination match.
That's correct. And he had to make a decision, and that's when you mentioned that he even did that in a nice way. Not like, oh, I don't like this person or anything.
Yeah, they showed it like 3 times, him going, oh, I really don't want to.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry.
Love me. And he picked Rob TV. And he mentioned because he feels that he's a good competitor. You know, being nice about it. Once again, you know, he's a good competitor. And
basically picking him but stroking his dick at the same time. Being like, he's really good.
That's multitasking.
I'm worried about this guy, so I'm picking you, buddy. You didn't need to get out. Whoa, you're too strong. Yeah, too strong.
Oh my God, can contain it. And then Rob TV had to decide who he can choose to go to elimination, but they didn't do it right away. They want him to sink in, get that information, and then choose.
No, that's the reality show part of it. That's the whole build it up. Keep
7 commercials.
Yes, keep him here. Don't let him know who he's gonna choose. Because even when they come back from doing all the activities throughout the day, they're like, "Did you finally decide?" Yeah, cool. Hold on to that. We're gonna hear that when we go somewhere else. Yeah, like somewhere else in the house for you to tell us.
And you can see some of the interaction they were doing when they were outside, being not competing but still doing their own thing. And very reality. It feels.
Yeah, but they mentioned too, like they were still being competitive but having fun about stupid shit.
Scripted. In my opinion, it felt very scripted.
I'm sure by now, with how reality shows are, they can structure it in a way where it could be easily scriptable.
Like it looks natural by being scripted, but it's still natural interaction.
Yeah.
Because I'm be honest, if that would be real, everybody would be like.
Honestly, like during shows, I don't think people are allowed to have phones or contact with anybody outside. So yeah,
it makes sense. Because if not,
everybody be like, "All right, man, just look, man, we're in a competition.
Exactly, focus.
Talk to me."
And then when he comes back, right, like you mentioned, they do that whole tension to see who he picks, and he ends up picking 3 of the people that he believes that he won't be able to beat, or he will not choose to play against each other.
I don't remember what his reasoning was, but
he mentioned because that he knows Commander Jesse, that he plays good, and then JB, I guess he's intimidated by him. And then
but JB can't be chosen.
Gotcha. And then Dayasha, he said because he don't know him, he's like a wild card.
Yeah, that's like getting
us. We don't know him. Sorry for that, man, if you're watching, but we don't know.
Yeah.
And then it was Sherry, Guilty, and Low Tier. And I think he picked Guilty because the hand massage.
No, I think he still said that she was strong.
She is strong.
That she's super strong, so he didn't want to deal with that.
I do believe that.
So he picked Sherry, and he also mentioned that he had beaten Sherry recently in some type of matches, casuals, or online or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he still chose Low Tier God overall
because he wanted to prove something. He wanted to prove something. He pops off. He says,
he had this like
change of characteristics.
Yeah, he just went on this kind of rant for a little while about like what he's won, his accolades and all that stuff.
It was very cringy
compared to like what Low Tier's done, and he's gonna show him blah 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 yada yada.
Rob TV looked like Low Tier. And Low Tier looked like a normal because he just responded. He was like, "Look, at the end of the day, it's what it's actions."
Like Low Tier came on like really realistic, sounding really realistic about it. Going, "Look, man, if you lose to me, you're saying all this stuff, but if you lose to me, you're gonna look like shit compared to like if I beat you."
Very uncharacteristic, like I mentioned from him. He would be popping off too. He would be saying all this stuff. We see him in multiple videos just saying all these things. I don't know what was that change with Rob. He looked very calm in the beginning and all that stuff. Anyway.
But that's us. Just probably we don't know him. Like a lot of people that probably watch his stream or whatever he does on the side, it's probably natural. Like I don't know
He's
the
doing
guy.
his Rob thing.
Yeah, there he goes again. He's getting, he's talking about himself.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Absolutely. They did mention that he may look like Kevin Hart or something like that related.
Who mentioned it?
Management.
Oh, the management? Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Like, I don't know. It's some type of relation.
The head movement, maybe, when he talks.
Maybe because he wasn't funny. Anyway, so then we went to the elimination room, right? They went to an elimination room, which is kind of weird. Come back to me, bro.
Yeah, it looked kind of like, when they went into the elimination room, it was like, all right,
weird.
There's drugs in this room.
100%.
They had all these colors, and like this room is for. I'm not even gonna say.
Yeah, it must be mad hot too. There was LED lights everywhere. Yeah, it looked small too,
which made for cool editing. Like the coolest thing too is like what I was worried about. Wait, let's go back to the room. I'll tell you what I was worried about in a little bit. But editing, like when they were people walking to the room and all that stuff was cool. That, yeah. They're like all dramatic, slow motion and in the shadows. Yeah. Like
it probably was like a three-step walk, but they made it look very epic.
Yeah. And then they sit down, they have their match or whatever.
They explain the match too. They say, hey, it's gonna be first to 5. This is the person you're gonna play, and also the other participants are sitting there as a crowd, I guess. And that's where something that I wanted to mention to you. I didn't like. So you have Sajam and Tasty Steve, great commentators who are well known, and they're commentating feet away from the players, which they have their own headsets and all this stuff, but without mic, without anything. It just sounds crazy. Imagine that 2 people are playing, I don't know, casuals in front of you, and you and I are here saying, "Oh, he did this, he did that." Like it's not meant to commentate. Is not meant to be heard to the person's.
I get that, but in a lot of locals, it just happens. Like in streams, like even in what's that place called? Next Level Battle Circuit.
Yeah.
Like the commentators are close enough. They talk every now and then. They just gotta put some bass in their voice for the players to hear them. It's not too uncommon, but I get it. That's like really intimate because there's not like ambiance like all throughout the arena or event or room or whatever. It's just this tiny little room.
Yeah, that's why it thinks it feels weird. Right there. It feels like the commentator is the crowd commentating. You get me? It's just I don't know. Always the commentator, like you mentioned, for space purpose. They're a little bit separated enough that they will have to raise their voice or something like that. I don't know. For me, it felt weird. It felt that. And they don't have a mics or nothing, right? It just feels weird. They're sitting talking about the match. I don't know.
I don't know.
For me, I don't know.
I was fine with it. I was fine with it. I was fine with it. But yeah, anyway, spoilers again, but whatever. So Rob TV ends up winning 5-1 against Low Tier God. So Low Tier God is out of contention for winning, maybe, because for some reason they leave the competitors in the house. So the competitors, like whoever loses these next 5 episodes or whatever to the end, will stay in the house. We don't know why.
Yeah. TCC say, hey, whoever loses, that's right. That's why I was like, what the hell? He said, whoever loses will be disqualified, but you get to remain in the house. And he said, and even may go to trips with the team. So you're still involved as it is. I guess you can't start to be you're a crowd now instead of a player.
Yeah.
I guess. Given that they have such a small crowd, I guess they have to keep the people in the house. It's a big ass house too, so they pay for this. Keep them there, hostile.
Or it could be a really smart way to go. So like Low Tier God's probably not gonna win. How do we keep the house to get the ratings? We need to keep him in the house,
guys.
We have 5 episodes to make him blow up for TV purposes.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Or like you mentioned, I think, hey, maybe there's a way they can bring him back in some type of resurrection.
Some typical reality show resurrection. And look who's back in the mix.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That'll be reality work.
Yeah, it could be. That could actually be a stipulation. Like if somebody doesn't do a certain thing, they have to fight with a person that got eliminated to come back or whatever. It could be something like that. Yeah. Whatever.
During the match that they had, they also did a couple of little tips, what those terminology meant for people that are watching it for the first
time. I thought
that
was amazing.
It is. They started that on the Capcom Cup, and I think it's very helpful. And also I think in Evo, if I recall, when Street Fighter was on, they had those things. And yeah, absolutely, they're great, and they're short enough that okay, that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody super well. That means, you know.
Yeah, like they realize there's gonna be terms brought up by people that's really common amongst people that are familiar with fighting games.
Mhm.
But then there's also a lot of people that are familiar with fighting games that don't know any of these terms because they're not technically aware of a community around these fighting games.
Absolutely, and I just think it's great. It's just add more. It feels professional. And then they had another short clip. They had I think it's called the X Factor, and they have another one called Getting Technical or something like that.
Yeah.
You see Sage, I'm being like a football, you know, NFL, just showing, you know, circles and X
and
in
it's
here.
and it's literally like short versions of the content he produces because he does analysis for so many top player matches.
Yeah.
So this is just like a really natural like insertion for him to be the one to do that. You know, it's like one of those like, hey, I've been doing this for a year. Yeah. You want to get paid for doing this real quick? Cool, do this for our show.
And then what it falls also that puts all the pieces together, I think, once again, the chemistry with Tasty Steve and Sejam is so well together because he's explaining it to Tasty Steve, which he knows about the game.
Yeah, of course. But if you know both of the players,
yeah,
you know that they both know what he's talking
Absolutely. About. They talk to each other most of the time, right? So, but he's explaining it, and TC Steve is receiving the information in a way that he doesn't look bored, he don't look awkward, he looks like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, he's making everything look much better. And it wasn't long enough that would make me be like, okay, I'm bored about this. It's very short, quick reference. You know, you feel smarter when you leave the show.
Yeah.
It's rare for a reality show.
Yeah.
You normally feel dumber when you watch a reality show. I like that. I definitely did like those things. I didn't think they took much time and they were effective.
I think for this, the amount of money and production value that this has, this is definitely better than what the FGC tried to do
twice now.
It's been twice already?
Because before that they had like I'm a Gamer or something like that. They had Justin and all these people. It was like they had to do like mini events. They had nothing to do with games, or maybe had to play old games.
Yeah.
And they had a price point, you know. And then they did the Street Fighter X Tekken.
The Cross Assault.
The Cross Assault.
That's what I wanted to bring up. So, the cool thing that I was worried about for the fight between Rob TV and Low Tier God was how the fight was going to be edited. If you'd watch the whole thing, because these things like have such a like varied amount of time that it could last, you know. So for it to be in a time constricted like time slot for TV would be a nightmare. So I'm like, this has to get edited, and thank God it was edited.
I think it was fantastically edited. Now that you mentioned, I think it was great. Even when you see, because Low Tier got he got bodied, but he did 1-1. But they managed to emphasize a couple of hits that he did, just to be like, oh, so that's what he did. Wow, now that I think about it, it was edited very well.
And the reason I bring that up is because remembering now, the Cross Assault had these two teams, all right, of purely Street Fighter people, purely Tekken people, coming together to this hybrid Street Fighter and Tekken game.
In a warehouse. It looked like looked like a warehouse in Kmart.
That's not the point. The point is, these guys that are just learning the game are both fighting, you know, in it, and you're just kind of stuck there watching the whole match. Yeah. No matter if it's compelling or not. It's literally like watching pools. Like, you know, pools, it's like one of those, like, it's really rare to find a gem match in pools, but people love watching pools, but maybe not a mass amount of people would want to watch something that could be good or could not be good, you know? So I think the editing, like, even if, like, let's say you rewatch the tape and you watch Rob and Low Tier and it's unedited, the complete match, and it's just fucking boring, right? But it's saved because of the editing.
I think so.
Which I think is something they should actually put out there. Like, if they're gonna have these episodes, it would be really interesting for them to actually go, hey, full matches here on YouTube in case you want to watch it, because people would want to watch those.
It would be fantastic, and I think they do have the money to be able to do that, but that also takes a lot of money, you know.
To upload a fucking match on YouTube?
The reason, not because of the money for that, because it has a lot of copyrights behind that. Who they are, the player they're exposing. There's a lot of legal things that might be in there. Dude, the same thing happened with the cross counter things TV. That it was cross counter, the one where Mike Ross was with Street Fighter 5.
I don't know.
That he used to do on Twitch, and they have invitation like Flow and all that stuff. All those things you couldn't find them anywhere. Because Capcom technically owns all those things that is happening at the moment. You couldn't find those things on YouTube, get them anywhere.
I mean,
I just feel that's why.
If since it's streamed on Twitch, I think they should also release the footage on Twitch then. Since they're allowed to actually put, since they're allowed to put the actual content itself on Twitch, then it should be easy to upload extra content on Twitch for the same show.
Yeah, for $2.99 a month.
Oh my god! I think it's $8.99 is the joke.
Oh my god! Which is on Twitch, guys. If you guys want to watch it, also if you don't have TBS, which have a great show called Eleague, go watch it.
Eleague TV is the Twitch channel.
Eleague TV?
Yeah, Eleague TV.
So Twitch/Eleague TV, I'm assuming.
Yeah, .tv. I don't fucking know. Fuck. They know how to search stuff. People know how to search things.
We need those bubbles, like how they had in the match. How it said, this is what it means.
Yeah, you know? I don't want to be too descriptive over things when it comes to like links and stuff, because people should know how to search for things on Google now. We're not talking to 7-year-old women.
If you are, thank you for the like and subscribe.
Thanks, Grandma. I love you.
Absolutely. So, do you see yourself watching more of this? Not as a person that, of course, follows FGC, but as hey, this is a show coming up.
Yes, because it reminded me more of the cooking challenge shows that Vanessa and I used to go ham on like, every now and then. Yeah, we binge watch like reruns of competitions. Gotcha. So because there is like an elimination process and it's competitive, and some elements of them are pretty cool. Yeah. So I would watch it again. I want to watch episode 2. Yeah. And I want to watch the whole thing. Yeah, I want to watch the whole thing. Gotcha. It's not just a bunch of people bickering. Yeah, which is this is what I was gonna say. I was like, the reason I will watch it is because whatever drama that can happen, I don't feel it will be not even close to the toxicity that has all these other shows and stuff like that. And also maybe if this works, we're looking at a bridge that might be for future shows that can be even better. This has to work, man. Yeah, and it's funny because like this is great for the community, and I get it that people were kind of upset that Low Tier God made it because he's so toxic or whatever, and that they're worried that him being a representation of our community would be a bad thing. But he's one player out of 7 on the show. It's so weird because it's like in a time that we're in today, right? Oof. I just don't understand how it's still a thing where that one guy's that way, they're all like that. It's like, come on, we gotta stop thinking like that, people. We have to stop. Especially branding it, because they're branding everyone. Like you mentioned like that. Absolutely. And to his defense, I guess he behaved like a normal person. Even when he lost, maybe scripted or not, when he lost, everybody was like, I'm expecting him to nerd rage or anything like that. And he was like, yo, respect. That's it. He said he feels salty. He probably raged, and he did putting things off camera. But in camera, he didn't do it. And he didn't show a bad representation. I'm getting paid for that. I'm not going to fuck that up. Yeah. He said it when he got there. Thank you, trolls. Thank you. You guys got me here. Yeah. Well, you guys think you're bringing down somebody, you're actually bringing them up. If it adds traction to them on social media and stuff like that, absolutely. Yeah, look where he ended up. Yeah. Be us, man. Nah, I don't know. I had like no reactions. So I'd be terrible at that show. It'd be too professional. And I think that the person that I can, because being biased, that I can relate most, JV, because he looks like he's determined. Yeah, he looks so focused. I'm gonna win. That's it. It's a real match. He looks, like, based off of the first episode, he just looks like he's there because he feels like he'd do well in the next tournament if he makes it through this. How cool would it be? Obviously, I'm not sure how accurate that could be. Whoever wins this reality show wins also E-League. The traction that can go to that show will be. That would be. I know it's impossible, but it will be impossible. I know it is impossible, but at least seeing them in top or something, seeing them some type of, hey, they made it here. Who's that guy? That's the challenger guy. If they at least make it to top 8, super hype. Absolutely, that'd be super hype. That's gonna help the show. And that's but to win. Impossible. Impossible. Yeah, but I just think it would be great for the whole show, and this show needs to work. Like how people say Street Fighter has to work, Marvel has to work, because he just needs to keep moving forward, and
has to work.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be there to see what happens. So I'm definitely gonna watch the rest of the shows. OKO Radio.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show. Very well made. Very well made show.
It didn't drag. It didn't feel like.
And I think I'm saying that because I'm so used to things not being so well made in this community. Very well made.
Yeah. I like it. I think they picked the right people to do this. Yeah. Anything else you got?
No.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we will be able to cover more stuff here in Double KO React. So stay tuned. Just make sure to follow, subscribe, and like. I think it's here. Is it here? Here.
Dude, I don't know where you're pointing.
I think it's here.
point with all 5 fingers like this.
I think
somewhere down here.
Stay tuned for our next video, okay, guys?
Peace.
Take care.
Have a good one.